Our next speaker is Alex Stroda, who is planning a picnic for all of us sometime in October. It sounds like it'll be a great deal of fun. Please welcome Alex Stroda. He will explain to you a little bit more about it. Thank you.
Woo!
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, my name's Alex Stroda. Like Brian said, Brian, thank you so much for doing everything to put this together.
Yes.
I'm here representing the Iowa Conference for Progressive Political Action. I realize that is a mouthful, but we wanted to give a nod to Henry Wallace, the greatest progressive to come out of the state of Iowa so far. And you can call us the ICPPA if you like. It's still a mouthful, but there are fewer calories involved. Now, the reason we started the ICPPA was from organizing for the Sanders campaign. I and the other people involved kept having the same discussion with people all around the state. I want to get more involved, but I don't know what to do. I want to keep the movement moving, but I don't know what to do. And Holly brilliantly outlined a number of things you can do. But there are also a number of organizations working on pushing progressive issues in the state of Iowa. And that's what we're going to do. We want to put progressives in the state of Iowa together with these organizations to give people the opportunity to see what they need to do and what they can do to actually make the change that they want to see. So on October 8th, near Granger, Iowa, at Saylorville Lake, we're going to have what we're calling the Iowa Progressives Picnic. It's going to be a month before the election, so hopefully we'll be able to get a good speaker. We're going to have to wait and see what happens this week, because that's going to have a big factor. But what we want to see is every progressive in the state of Iowa come together. That's why we located it in Saylorville, because that is 3.5-hour drive for most people. And I would have loved to put it in my backyard in Ottumwa, but I don't think people in Sioux City were going to be too interested in driving that far. So, in addition to having a speaker and a volunteer fair where progressives around the state have the opportunity to get together with organizations working to create progressive change in the state, we're also going to have the opportunity to build community. That is one of the things that is missing in this country, in this state, and in our communities. And I use that term loosely. We have to talk to each other. We have to interact with each other. Holly is absolutely right. If you break down the issues that we identify as progressive ideals and ask people without a progressive label or a Democrat label or a Republican label, 80% of Americans agree with most of them. We have to focus on the issues and not just the candidates, because we all ultimately want the same thing. We want to have enough money to do the three things that every American's supposed to have the opportunity to do: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Life, to me, means health care, doesn't it? Liberty means the government not telling you what you can and can't do. And I don't know about you, but I'm pretty worried that there's going to be a long list of things we're not going to be allowed to do if one Mr. Donald Trump becomes our next president. And the pursuit of happiness, which for some people is a disconnect. Pursuit does not mean that you attain happiness, but you have to have the opportunity. And that means we need to have a living wage in this state and this country, because if you have to work 100 hours a week in order to just feed your family, that's not going to be a very good time for anybody involved. Now, I'll stop with the speechifying and focus on the details. So, these two people over here, They've been handing out flyers to let you guys know we're asking for a $10 suggested donation. It is a suggested donation. You don't have to give anything to come to the event, but it's coming. Every dollar that's given is going to go into the event or into a future event, because we have to keep the movement moving. We have to keep people engaged. We can't just vote. Voting hasn't worked for us. You have to vote and get involved in one of the parties. Vote and get involved with an organization that's pushing progressive issues. Vote and be willing to talk to people who may not be very interested in talking to you. One of the problems that we always have on the left is that we are the adults in the room. And that means when someone throws a temper tantrum, we tend to be willing to walk away. Well, I don't know if you guys have kids. I'm a teacher. If a kid's throwing a temper tantrum, walking away is usually the worst thing you can do, because there's a reason they're upset. You have to engage people and find out what is driving them. What are they looking to see happen? What do they need in their lives? That's something we need to do in order for this to not just become a movement we talk about, to not just become a movement that involves joining Facebook groups or clicking like on memes. This is going to be hard work, and we have to be willing to do the work. We have to stand up to the people who want to make America hate again and actually make America great again. The values that we consider progressive values are the values of Henry Wallace, are the values of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, are the values that we fought fascists to maintain. And 70 years later, we're looking at a situation where we're potentially having a fascist rise in this country. The only way to stop it is to vote and get involved. You vote for whoever you want to. You can listen to Holly or Dylan or make up your own mind, but vote for the most progressive candidate that you want to vote for. This time around, a lot of those people are not going to be very progressive. But they're also not very ideological. So if we pressure them, if we lobby them, they will follow our lead. That's why we need to get organized and work together. Because if we don't do that, not only is nothing going to come of this movement, but our country is going to become a very different place than I think any of us want to see it become. So again, talk to those two lovely people over there if you would like to sign up to attend the Progressive Picnic. There are flyers that have all the details. And if you want to get more involved, we have a planning group as well. Everyone is welcome. Like I said on the flyer, invite your friends, your family, bring your children. Your conservative uncle is even welcome. Because I think if your conservative uncle actually sat down and had a conversation with somebody, depending on how much scotch he's had that day, that he's going to find that we're not the boogeymen that the media and politicians have made us out to be. Thank you all for listening to me. Thank you all for coming out today. Sunglasses, I'm confused. You guys have a great day. Thanks.
Woo!